automatically chooses between the two. We've got it set to that so that we don't ever lose it. It just chooses from the center of our map which radar site's closest. So right here, it's the radar site at Fort Smith is the closest one. So this is the going back toward Fort Smith, and this is going away. And that inbound looks pretty strong right there, just around Briggsville. And there's a new scan. Just kind of moved it over just a little bit to the east. So still moving around 40 miles per hour. Danville and Rover, we're between 5 to 10 minutes to getting there in between Danville and Rover. That's Highway 27 that runs north and south through central Yell County from Danville down to Rover. The storm here right at Briggsville, between Briggsville and up north to State Highway 80 from Chalabette Springs back up to Danville is where that rotation is. Along 80 south to Briggsville, just in that little path there between Briggsville, between Highway 80 and the highway probably 28 that goes from Briggsville to Rover, just in that little corridor area. It's probably like, I don't know, probably 3 or 4 mile wide area where that tornado, if it is a tornado, is going right through there here at this time. So the rotation still looks pretty significant with this, looks warranted for the tornado warning. We again are in a timbered area for the most part, but downstream, Rover, Danville, Ola, especially when we get into Dardanelle and Russellville, they were in highly populated areas. Jenna has just drawn a brand new storm track on this, moving at 40 miles per hour. The time right now is 2:39 a.m. Here's Danville at 2:51, approaching there, so that is 12 minutes from now, 11 to 12 minutes. Plainview 2:56, Mickles 2:59, Ola at 3:03. Then the town of Petit Jean, not Petit Jean Mountain. Don't be confused with that being Petit Jean Mountain. The town of Petit Jean at 3:09, Prosperity at 3:13, then Dardanelle 3:18, and then get it to south parts of Russellville around 3:20, and then Bernice at 3:22. Can you do me a favor and draw a track? Here's Atkins right here. Let's just draw a track and see get it outside of the warning. Let's get it all the way to Atkins and to see what time it gives us to Atkins, that ETA. Atkins, of course, in southern Pope County, there along I-40, and that's at 3:29. So the warning goes at 3:15. Atkins is outside of the warned area, so that's outside of the expiration time of this warning. And hopefully it would expire and wouldn't be a tornadic storm at that point once it gets toward Atkins or anywhere along the way. But so 3:29, which is 50 minutes away from Atkins, 45 to 50 minutes from Atkins. There's Gallo Rock at 3:24. Russellville up here along I-40 basically at 3:18, but Dardanelle at 3:12. You're on south side of Russellville 3:14. So south side of Russellville 3:14, getting up to I-40 around 3:18 this morning, and then of course Danville right in line next at 2:46. So we're 5 to 6 minutes away from Danville, this rotation, and the warranted tornado warning here in Yell County. So again, Yell County, central Yell County, and northwestern Perry County, and extreme south parts of Pope County with this tornado warning until 3:15 this morning. Looks like we're still on the Fort Smith radar. Looks like the outbound is a little less defined. Inbound is good, meaning significant with this. Let's go back to reflectivity real quick. I'll keep my hand right there. Looks like we're cycling around a little bit. Looks like we might be trying to produce a new area of circulation with this closer to Danville at this point. We're getting a little more of a flank into there coming in from the south. So
oh yeah, I see that. You
see that? So it's all pretty much in the, a mile or two of difference apart. So from this, so along Highway 80, coming in from Chalabette Springs to Danville is this possible tornado. So Danville down to Rover, it's in there along Highway 27, State Highway 80, and State Highway 28. That's where we are with this right now. This isn't timbered areas. It's in the mountains. It's in the hills, but it's getting closer to where a lot more people live. There are people probably live in these spots, but you get closer to Danville and the State Highway and along Highway 80. There are people living there along the Highway 80. Jen, is the Weather Service got anything new in the Little Rock chat room right now?
I am not. It says, okay. New from NWS Little Rock, rotation has decreased considerably in recent scans. We'll keep monitoring, but may consider canceling this warning soon. So we'll see. It does, I mean, I agree with you. It looks like this is kind of trying to hand off a different area of rotation. And that's something that we see in cycling storms. So one area of rotation weakens, the next picks up. It's like a handoff kind of situation. And even this next scan, it's still broadly rotating. So honestly, if the radar continues to look similar to this, I would be shocked that we would cancel this warning, because it is cycling, and that's why those in the path of this, if you're within this red polygon this morning, head indoors. Well, obviously you should already be indoors. It's 2:43 in the morning, but go to your tornado safe spot. You should be within steps of your tornado safe spot, hopefully. So that's the lowest level of your home, a room that's away from windows, no exterior walls. Tornado shelter or basement would be preferred. If you do live on the second floor of a complex, get to the first floor of the complex within this red polygon right here. Even though we're not talking about likely something on the ground, that doesn't mean that this storm is capable of producing a tornado at any moment.
Yeah, especially as it's going through the cycling area, the area that looks like we may be getting that new rotation right there. It could be happening right there. That could be that rear flank downdraft kind of coming in and creating a lot of wind on the south side of that. And of course, there just could be a lot of outflow wind with this too. You know, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if the air is going in a circle or if it's going straight at you. You know, 60, 70 mile per hour wind is the same no matter how it turns or goes straight. Wind is wind at the end of the day.
We'll see. I would suspect that shear has decreased with this storm. And it looks like it has.
More pronounced when the warning started back around Gravely.
Yeah, and it has weakened since it's approached areas between Danville and Grover. They're not expecting any hail with this storm. It's not severe warned, so we are only talking about, with this storm as well as heavy rain and lightning, that rotation that we have been watching for quite a few minutes now.
Hey, zoom out here. I see something kind of interesting here. Look where this is going. It's going right between two ridges.
Oh.
Going right between two ridges.
It is.
Right between two ridges. So that probably has some impact. The one ridge is ending. The northern ridge ends when it gets to Danville. That wouldn't probably play much of an impact to inflow air to it as maybe the southern ridge would, which kind of tails off once we get past Danville. Closer to Ola, it tails off just a little bit, that mountain ridge. So that may be something to watch. This will probably have somewhat of an impact when it gets around Ola, if it's still holding together, and it's just kind of falling right in between those two ridges, kind of right along Highway 80, right up to Danville. So anywhere between Danville and Rover, I think that's State Highway 27, back Highway 80, back to Chalabette Springs is where this possible tornado is here in Yale County. It's 2:45 now, warnings until 3:15. Looks like we got a new scan. You want to go ahead and flip to velocity and see what that looks like. This is from the Little Rock site. So
it's tightening,
it's
and
right there, a little tighter.
Weather Service in our chat has said that this next scan looks tighter. They will not be canceling this warning.
Okay. All right, so that's good that they're not canceling. Bad that it's still warranting the warning, because I don't want anybody to say, oh, it's no longer a warning, so it's not a deal, because you know, we had really significant rotation before the warning was there. It seemed like, and we were getting ready to come on air, and then in the process, the Weather Service pulled the trigger and then issued the warning on that, flipped the switch, if you will. So along Highway 80, coming into Danville, down Highway 27 between Danville and Rover. Oh, see, that is tighter. That is much tighter now.
Yeah, and this is looking out of the Fort Smith radar.
That's Fort Smith? Okay. So there's Belleville, Danville, south of Belleville, coming into Danville. Can you do the ruler from Danville to right back here? See how many miles? I'm thinking like 2 miles now west of Danville.
Yeah, let me.
So down Highway 80. So to the center of that, 4 miles. So from downtown Danville to the center of the rotation, down Highway 80, 4 miles. So in Danville, get to your safe place right now. As Jenna was mentioned earlier, if you're upstairs, get downstairs. Get to a storm shelter if you have that. If you actually are in an apartment complex, if there's one in Danville and it has an upstairs, need to get out of that upstairs area and knock on your neighbor's door if that's the case, because they may not even know it's coming, and they need to know, and you need to get into a safer place downstairs if you're living in an apartment complex in Danville, because it looks like it's coming right into Danville. There's West 20th Street. What is that?
Oh, I tried to draw a circle around.
Okay. Was that a jet stream kind of?
Don't mind me. It was larger than I expected, but this is just trying.
I thought it was a new feature that I didn't know about.
Where the rotation is moving towards Danville. So as those colors get tighter, closer together, that's why we're talking about those in Danville heading to your tornado spot right now.
So that's
looks like the rotation is crossing
Moss Creek Road, Keith Lane.
Keith Lane, it's approaching Highway 27.
Yeah, so we're maybe like 3 miles now from Danville. That's Highway 27 going south out of Danville toward Rover. That's Highway 80 that goes down to Chalabette Springs. And there's Corinth, the community of Corinth. It's just south of Corinth, and that's Keith Lane, and that is Sandstone Lane right here that comes off of Highway 80. Just a small street there, or small road off of Highway 80, about 3.5 miles southwest of Danville. So that's where our rotation is here in this most recent scan. So this is coming into Danville. Danville, take shelter right now. That is the Fort Smith radar. Rotation looks pretty pronounced. Jenna's putting a brand new track on this now. It's within the minute. It's just within a minute of Danville. So Danville is not on our list here. But Mickles, 3 o'clock. That's 11 minutes an hour, 10 to 11 minutes from now. Ola, 3:05. So about 14, 15 minutes to Ola. The town of Petit Jean, not the mountain, but the town of Petit Jean, 3:09. Prosperity, 3:14. Cottontown, 3:20. And Hollow Bend at 3:23. So there's Ola, there's about 3:05. So that's about 14, 15 minutes to Ola. And it looks like Mickles Alpha maybe more in line, didn't say Ola. I think it would be north of Ola. But again, that one mountain range is kind of ending right here when we get to Danville. And so that may change the inflow into this as it comes up out of Plainview. And so that'll be interesting to see what happens as it kind of clears that mountain range when it reaches Highway 27. And that may change the airflow into this storm there. So Danville, take shelter right now in around Danville, anywhere from Belleville down to Danville and about halfway down to Rover. You need to take shelter. Plainview, Mickles, Alpha, you're next in line with this storm as it moves to the northeast at 40 miles per hour. Ola, Petit Jean after that, going up Highway 28 back up to around Dardanelle. So Dardanelle, you're closer to around 310, so you're about maybe 20 minutes away. Is that a new scan from the Fort Smith radar?
It does appear to be a new scan, and it does look tighter than it did. So.
And it's right there at 80 and 27.
Yeah.
Right there. It's at Pretty Lane, NFS Road 649. That's where it is. That's where 80 hits 27. Pretty Lane, right there on the south side of Danville is where our rotation is at this time. So if we're going to get a tornado, it's going to happen in Danville right now. So if you're hearing this in Danville, watching on air at KRK or Fox 16, or watching KRK Fox 16 Plus, our streaming app on smart TVs, or if you're watching one of our apps or website, if you're in Danville, hopefully you are in the safest place possible right now. If it's underground in a shelter, fantastic. That's where you need to be here at this point. Let's take a gander at the debris indicator to see if we have got anything. Doesn't look, that's from Fort Smith. Doesn't look anything from there. So there might have been something right there. Might have been.
Maybe.
It's not that pronounced, but might have been something right there. But we get to Danville right now at current time at 2:50. Or you're going back. Bring it up there. Right now in Danville, it doesn't look like we have any kind of debris indication. I wouldn't say so.
That's great news. Let's take a look at shear now. It does look like it's trying.
See, there was that drop off, and then it picked back up.
Yeah, exactly, because it did have the history of this storm. Since it was tornado warned near Gravely, it's tried to spin. It really had the most shear as it was just to the north.
It crossed that ridge.
Gravely. It did.
It crossed the ridge.
It did, and it picked up, so maybe that's why we saw a little drop off in shear in that moment, and now it's on the other side of that ridge. So shear is there on radar. We're on our product that we're watching. We'll pop up radar again. This is the Fort Smith radar, I believe.
It was. Now I think you're back on Little Rock. Yeah, that's Fort Smith. It's got to be, right?
I
yes,
would think
it
so.
is. It is. Yeah, that's Fort Smith. You can tell by that curvature there.
And so I want to zoom out really quick. Again, this is a singular storm. So this is away from the clustered parts of the broken line that's now moving through northwest Arkansas, with severe thunderstorm warnings ongoing in parts of northwest Arkansas. That is for damaging wind gusts, some small hail also likely. But we are watching this storm, and really any singular storm that pops up and has a lot of space between storms below it, so to its south, it does not have anything impeding it. That's why we're watching this storm. That's why it is able to rotate. It's on its own.
Yeah, it doesn't have the competition. There is one down south. Let's look at that one briefly. I think it's down in Montgomery County to the south, maybe moving into Garland County. No, it is in Garland County. All right, so it's just, I don't know if it's much. I don't think it is. Let's look a little closer to that and then just flip over to velocity real quick. Down Highway 70, yeah, there's nothing there. Go back to reflectivity on that.
I think it's newly forming, so we'll continue to keep an eye on that, especially as it moves through.
Yeah, especially because it's coming into Hot Springs. And also there's this other cell right here on the Yale-Garland County line north of Jesseville. It looks weak. I don't know if there's going to be anything showing up on velocity. Nah. Not
much. It looks very much disorganized.
It's young, whatever.
It is young.
So, all right, let's go back up here to our storm here. It's going through Danville, getting east of Danville. I believe that's still Highway 80 that goes from Danville to Ola. And then there's Highway is that 154 that goes from Belleville to Alpha and eventually to around Pettigene. So Alpha, Highway 154, Mickles. That storm is coming right up your way. In Danville now, rotation is there right along Highway 10. Yes, this is the same Highway 10. Same Highway 10 that is Cantrell in West Little Rock, but this is Highway 10 out in Yale County. So it's a long ways from Little Rock, but there's Mickles, Danville, there's Ranger, south of Ranger, and it will really look like it's going to go right here to Mickles to Alpha probably the next 10 minutes. It's at Danville right now. North of Rover, looks like we've missed Rover. That's good, and probably going to miss Ola. There's Plainview down to the south. Looks like we're going to miss Plainview, barely miss Plainview. No, Ola's still kind of in the path of that. I was thinking Ola was somewhere else. But it's at Ola, Mickles, Alpha, those places kind of really in the path of that. Chickasaw, I think the rotation is going to stay south of you, but you're going to get some rain, some storms, and a lot of thunder and lightning, that, maybe some gusty winds as it comes to Chickasaw. Pettigene, boy, you're the town of Pettigene, right in the path of that if it holds course. Now it's coming right down Highway 10 from Danville toward Ola, and Highway 154 that goes back to 27 from Alpha, from Pettigene back to Alpha to Highway 27. So that's where it is. Rotation right on top of State Highway 27 there between Danville and Ola. Jen is drawing a brand new storm track on that now from Danville, going through the rest of Yale County and moving into parts of Hope County. So Mickles, 301. That's 5 minutes from Mickles, guys. That's 5 minutes to Mickles. So we got to get shelter right now. And Mickles and Alpha both. Right now, get shelter. Safest place. If you're in an upstairs house, get downstairs. If you have a basement, most of us don't in Arkansas, but if we have a storm shelter, that's where we need to be in Alpha and Mickles right now. Same thing for Pettigene. Go ahead and get there, right there. Go ahead and get there right now. And this storm is moving northeast at 40 miles per hour. So we're not far away. 5 minutes, 4 minutes now from Mickles. 6, 7 minutes from Alpha. Mount George, 306. Pettigene, 309. Prosperity, 313. New Neely, 317. And Cottontown, 319. That's outside of the time of the warning. The warning's until 3:15. So hopefully we cancel this before then. But there's no good sign now to be able to cancel this because the rotation is still pretty significant right on and now kind of moving to the east side of Danville. So I bet we've been a few minutes and we've gotten a new scan. So we should get a new one here pretty soon. So it's at Danville. That's Highway 10 to Mickles. That's Ranger. That's Alpha along Highway 154. That's a new scan, right?
Yeah, that is a new scan, and Pat, it's now moving at 45 miles an hour to the northeast.
But that's faster, right?
It is moving faster now.
Okay. So moving at 45 now.
And a little bit of lightning. I wouldn't say an uptick of lightning. It's probably producing the same amount as it's been through this warning, which means it's staying consistent. It's not weakening. It's cycling in its area of rotation, that mesocyclone, that area where the storm is spinning. It is continuing to try to get lower and lower as we've watched scan after scan. And this is actually from the Little Rock radar now. So it is close enough that we can see this tight area of rotation now just moving to the southeast of Danville, east-southeast.
So this, if it stays there, now as it keeps coming toward Little Rock, we'll be able to stay on it, and it gets closer and closer to the Little Rock radar, and we'll actually probably have a better sampling of it as it gets closer to the Little Rock radar. So that's good news that we can get a better view of it. So that rotation right there, east side of Danville, that's Highway 10 that goes to Ola. Eventually comes into Perry County, which eventually goes into Pulaski County too. But this is well west of Pulaski County. There's Dardanelle. The storm, I think, is going to stay south of Dardanelle and south of Russellville. I think originally parts of Russellville are out of the warning, but I think it stays south of Russellville now. But this would be the Atkins area. Way up here is Atkins. Outside of that, there's the edge of the warning. Atkins is outside of that. But it would probably Atkins to Rose Creek or to Casa, anywhere there from here in Pope County back down to around Rose Creek and Casa and in Perry County is where anywhere in there is where it's going to go through. So Mickles, it's 2:59 right now. Mickles, the next 3 to 4 minutes, it's there. Then Petit Jean at 3:12, Alpha 3:06, so 5 or 6 minutes away from Alpha. Prosperity 3:15, Cottontown 3:22, Pontoon 3:25, Pottsville right here at 3:27, and then Atkins at 3:34. Then, you know, after that point, if it keeps going and if it still maintains itself, then we're looking here, Morrilton probably 3:45-ish. I mean, I don't foresee it really going that long and hanging out that long, but, you know, we'll see what it does when we get here farther along. All right. Is that a new scan? You say it does look like a new one? And it doesn't look as significant, I don't think, anymore. It looks like it's maybe just a little bit weaker.
Still on the broader side, but it's cycling. It's still there. We still have an area of rotation.
Still have that ridge. It's right along it crossed this ridge. Is that my phone going off? It's 3 o'clock. It's my backup alarm. Jenna's going to go take care of that.
I got it.
Yeah, that's my alarm that tells me, hey, this is your last warning. Get to work. All right, so there's Danville. That storm is now east of Danville. The rotation is east of Danville, coming down Highway 10. So Danville to Ola, Mickles. It's coming right into Mickles here at this time as we talk. Thanks, Jenna. And then it's going to continue to go here through Yale County. I want to see what happens when it gets past this ridge. It's crossing the ridges. I mean, because the storm is not, you know, it's well above the mountaintop, sure, but that ridge will play an impact on the airflow into it, then getting into the updraft region. So that plays a role. And once it gets to Ola, we're in a little bit more of an opened area, not as big of a ridge. So that may play an impact. I'll be interested to see what it does when it gets that far. So this is a tornado warning till 3:15, so another 14 minutes in Yale County, central Yale County to eastern Yale County, far southern parts of Pope County, and then far western and northwestern parts of Perry County until 3:15. It does include the town of Petit Jean, but not Petit Jean Mountain, but of course Petit Jean Mountain eventually, you know, if it continues, would eventually be in the path of this, but this is going to be, you know, 45 minutes from now. So Ola, looks like we're going to go north of that. There's a new scan in the rotation. It looks a little broader now. We're still being influenced, I think, by that ridge, and see what happens here probably in our next couple of scans. Once it gets past that ridge, gets closer to Highway 28. I just wanted to know if rotation going to be more pronounced, or is it going to fall apart? Be interesting to see, or maybe have no impact at all. I mean, it's crossed ridges and it's changed its rotation a couple times. Weakened, strengthened, and it just may be part of the cycle, and the ridges may have nothing to do with it whatsoever. It just may be happening anyway. So it's still there. Where'd you go? Oh, you're over there. Okay.
I want to add that in chat, it looks like there is a spotter in Danville that has gotten a look at the storm. Hard to see, of course, because it's nocturnal. It's 3 a.m. We don't have any sunlight to view anything, but they also can't view anything. They say that it is raining too heavily. There's not enough lightning to see any rotation. And you should never do this if you're in a tornado warning, but let's say that that's what your inkling is, to go outside and see what you can see. Don't do that because you're not even going to see anything. Not that you should, period. You should never do that when a warning is issued. But because of the setup where it is right now, there's not enough lightning to light things up. It's raining too heavily. We cannot see much, but we can get data from radar, and radar is telling us that there's rotation. But you're right, Pat, it does look much more broad now, which is a great sign. It does look weaker than it once did. And let's pop up shear just to double check. It did look like it picked up on shear south side of Danville, but it's dropped off once again, and maybe it's because it's crossed another ridge there.
So it's really at Mickles right now, right? Is that where we are? Yeah, we're at Mickles.
Yeah,
Alpha.
Mickles, it's closing in on Mickles right now.
So there's FS Road 655A.
Yes.
Mickles Switch Road, East Ode Bell. To the north, Salty Banks Access Road. By the way, you mentioned that spotter in Danville. You said it was a spotter. It's probably a National Weather Service trained Skywarn storm spotter.
Correct.
And they probably live in Danville. And they're reporting what they're doing, and spotters, that's what they do. They live in a spot, they go sit, they don't chase, they sit and they watch, and they report what they said. If it's too much rain, can't tell. If they had lost power, the spotter would have reported that they had lost power.
Well, let me check. I'll check power outages
they would do that, right? So if I guess they haven't lost power in Danville, which would be a good sign.
Let me pull that up.
Are you going to look at the power grid maps?
It doesn't look like there's anyone reporting power out at this time.
Good.
With this storm. There are some power outages in northwest and western Arkansas.
Okay, that makes sense.
The most,
because they had a lot of wind with those storms. And we did have reports of some damage around Mountainburg, I think earlier in Van Buren County. Near Dean Springs, I think. We had a tornado warning out there, and also the storm itself could have just produced a lot of wind too. So those are the storms, as Jenna's mentioning, in northwest Arkansas where there are power outages.
Yeah,
but this is here in the river, northern Ouachita's moving into the River Valley. And look at the grand scheme of things. This is a little storm. But, you know, it's doing its job. It has the rotation in it. It has the circulation. It has the shear. We haven't got a report of a confirmed tornado, and hopefully we do not get one at all. Good news is, it looks like we only have one warning in North Arkansas now. Those storms are a lot more benign, other than that one cell there in Newton County. That is a severe thunderstorm warning in Baxter, Boone, Marion, and Newton counties. Probably still from 60-mile-per-hour winds. I wouldn't think there's much of a hail threat. Versus hail, it's going to be P to dime at most.
Very tiny, and it is trucking to the east. This storm is
how fast?
60 miles an hour.
Yeah, wow, okay, that is moving. Whereas our tornado warning storm moving at 45 miles per hour in Yale County. So Yale County, southern Polk County, right up to Russellville, to Pottsville, far northwestern Perry County, under this tornado warning for another 9 minutes. I think we're going to go all the way to the expiration time of this storm. I don't think we're going to cancel it early.
No, I would agree. And the newest scan shows it's starting to kind of tighten back up again. It's not amazingly tight, but it is showing that it is cycling.
Okay, so we're getting near the end of that ridge, and we'll see if the ridge has played any role in this at all pretty soon. So it's east of Danville now. We had a spotter there, said, man, it was raining so hard, you couldn't make anything out. Don't think we lost power there in Danville. That's a good sign. Here's Ola. This is right on Highway 10, halfway between Danville and Ola. So halfway between Ola and Danville on Highway 10. Of course, right before you get to Ola, Highway 10 kind of goes to the south and east. So that rotation, I think, will stay north of Ola, but I'm talking about in the center of town, Ola. It stays north of that. And so if you say you live in Ola, but you live a mile or two north, then you're in the immediate path of this storm. So Ola to Petit Jean, the town of Petit Jean, not the mountain. I believe that's Highway 28 that goes north out of there to Ola to Petit Jean. Yeah, it is 28, all the way up to Dardanelle. So that's at Mickles now on Highway 10. It's going to go right toward Petit-Jean, the town, and close to the intersection of 154, 28, and along somewhere there between Ola and Petit-Jean along Highway 28 is where this will eventually cross. It is on Highway 10 right now. There's a new scan. Rotations there. It looks like it might have dropped just a hair, but I mean minuscule amount. It's between Alpha and Mickles, and really on top of Mickles is where we are looking at this rotation. Chickasaw, you're under that tornado warning. Our rotations to the south, but that's out in. Are we getting a, what's the reflectivity look like up there? I want to see what Chickasaw, because no, it's on the back side of the storm, so that's not an updraft rotation. That's not a mesocyclone.
And Pat, it does look like there are a few customers that have lost power along just actually to the southwest of Highway 28 with this storm just recently. It doesn't look like there's any power outages in Danville, but it looks like right around, let me pull out the pointer so we get closer. Well, no, that wouldn't make sense. No, actually, okay, I got turned around.
Okay.
It's right around here that we have reports of about 30 people without power, so that's brand new. That's the only report of power outages that we've seen with this storm, and that's on Entergy. That's
on Entergy, so that's I think 154 that goes out toward 27. So that's Alpha to Mickles. So we may have had something, at least some wind, maybe knocked out 30 customers here in the last few minutes in western Yale County, lost power just north of Mickles. Looks like a rotation here is between Mickles and Alpha. They're between 154 and Highway 10, or really right there at Highway 10. And this area here, that's on the back side of the storm, so that I don't think that's an issue to worry about there near Chickasaw. But Chickasaw is under the warning, but the rotation is south of Chickasaw. Dardanelle's under the warning. It looks like they did adjust the warning 1.1 of the updates. I think they've taken Russellville totally out of the warning. So Russellville, you're totally out of the tornado warning. Pottsville, though, I think is in it. Atkins is not in it. In the storm, probably would. It's too hard to say if it stays south of Atkins, but I think it would. But just can't say for sure. So down the road in Pope County, Gallo Rock, Rose Creek in northwestern Perry County, places to watch for that. And then west of Petit-Jean Mountain, and maybe even including Petit-Jean Mountain if it gets into Conway County right here on the screen. So this is the town of Petit-Jean in Yale County, and then over here is Petit-Jean Mountain in Conway County. And so that's well, go ahead, Jenna.
Pat, I want to add, it looks like they will allow this warning to expire at 3:15, but we did just see a few counties added to the tornado watch, and it has been extended in time. So now that tornado watch goes until 5 a.m., and I'll update this graphic as we go, so you'll watch it.
But this is until 5. It says 4, but it's until 5, right?
Yes.
So some counties toward West Arkansas dropped out of it because they're in the clear for severe weather, severe storms. So Garland County, you're under the tornado warning until 5. Oh, she's already updated it. Until 5 a.m. Pike County, here, Montgomery County, Yale County, where we have our warning right now for the next 5 minutes. Yale, Perry, Pope County with that warning until 3:15, but tornado watch until 5 a.m. Conway County, Faulkner County, Van Buren, Cleburne County, Stone, Searcy, Marion, Baxter counties until 5 a.m. So Pulaski County, not under the tornado watch, nor is Saline County. It's until 5 a.m., so for another 2 hours. But Conway, the town, and Faulkner County are under that tornado watch. So is Conway County, Perry, Garland County. So with that cell in Yale County, I mean, we're really going to keep our eyes on Perry, Conway County, and Faulkner County as it kind of moves eastward. So, I mean, it's not the big storm. Some of the rainfall from this storm has gone through Russellville already, and some of the rain from the storm is in Dardanelle, but the rotation area is south of Dardanelle. So tornadic Dardanelle, I think you're fine. I think you're in the clear, but you are under that tornado warning. Let's take a little zoom in there. Let's look at our velocity again. All right, so this is a highway, that's Highway 10 there. That's Highway 154. There's our rotation. It's weaker. It's not broader. It's just weaker here between Alpha and Petit-Jean right now.
Yeah.
And has it moved a little more northeastward?
It is moving more northeastward than it was east-northeast now. It does look like it's pulling a little bit. Just we'll kind of scroll it back, just show its movement just a little bit in the last scan or so, pushing more towards
the northeast.
The northeast.
Hey, let's go back. So this is where that kind of our power outage was. Let's see if we go back and look on our debris indicator here. Maybe zoom back out a little bit more. So it was fine, Mickle. So it was like right around here, I think, where you mentioned that power outage. Let's see. Let's go through the debris indicator. See if we see anything. Yeah, nothing really looks like it would be a true sign of a radar confirmed tornado with that. But 30 customers without power, energy customers out Highway 154 west of Alpha. So might have been something, might have just been some wind or something. Gust of wind had knocked out a couple of transformers or something to knock out power to about 30 people or 30 customers. So debris indicator, that's not much there to talk about, is it?
Not entirely.
No, that's not in the rotation area.
We don't want it to be something to talk about, but it does look much weaker with each scan we're getting. So in 2 minutes, it looks like the National Weather Service will allow this to expire, which is great news.
The rotation's weak. It's tight, but it's weak, and it's getting past that ridge now. So I think we've got a nice southeast or south inflow into it, and we got 2 more minutes left on this warning. And maybe we'll see one more scan, and we'll see whether or not this drops off or what it does. And if it kicks back up, then they'll probably issue a new warning on that storm. So this is what happened? Oh. So that is Highway 154 north of Highway 10 now. Ola, yeah, you're in the clear for this. It's at Petit to Ard, south of Dardanelle. Dardanelle, you're getting rain, lightning from this storm. Rotation is down around Ard. All right, so this rotation stays south of Dardanelle, Pottsville, Atkins, Gallo Rock. Atkins and Gallo Rock are outside of the warned area. In some parts of I think it's Pottsville right there. So Pottsville itself is actually, I think, outside the warning, but 320 or so, it probably will be really close to Pottsville. Between there and Gallo Rock is where it'll be. So it's getting really close to Petit right now. It's 3:14, and we're getting close to the expiration of this. We'll hang on here as it expires. And
good news. So we were talking about a singular cell that popped up in parts of Garland County. It's completely just kind of
petered out there.
Exactly. It fizzled out. That's what we want to see. So this is the only storm in town. It is weak now, and once again, this tornado warning will expire at 3:15. That doesn't mean there's not heavy rain. Oh, and it has expired.
There it is expired.
So be cautious of the heavy rain and lightning. That still packs a punch just because this isn't severe. But now we only have that severe warning in north central Arkansas.
And this is moving really fast too, right? 60 miles per hour?
Yes, it is kicking it for sure. Ripping to the east. It does have 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, maybe small hail, but it is not warned for hail.
Right.
Likely less than nickels, if any hail is falling, more like probably dimes.
Let's go back and looking closer just to the rotation. I know our warning has expired in Yale County. Before we get off the air here, let's just look at our rotation one more time. We probably have a new scan in. It's just right there between Dardanelle and Petit. Yeah, it's right there. It is, but it's weaker. So it looks like we've cleared that ridge, and it looks like we really are falling apart. So not enough here to keep a tornado warning on it. So it's now 3:16 is now the time. Jenna and I, meteorologist Jenna Warner and myself, have been tracking this storm here in Yale County. Tornado warnings expired for Yale, Perry, and Polk counties. Of course, you've been watching the coverage here on KARK-4 News and Fox 16. Next newscast is coming up at 4 o'clock, KARK-4 Today. We'll be on there. We'll keep tracking these storms, talk about what's ahead for today, and talk about maybe some improving weather as we get to the second half of the week. Getting into tomorrow, it looks like it'll be a whole lot better. But do want to remind you there is a tornado watch in Faulkner, Perry, Yale County, Garland County as well. That is until 5 a.m. So we're not done with this just yet. But for right now, the one storm that really warranted a tornado warning has weakened to the point where it doesn't need a tornado warning anymore. It doesn't look like it would even have a severe wind. So again, that tornado watch until 5 a.m. So we'll have a new newscast coming up at 4 a.m. Of course, on KARK-4 and Fox 16 Plus until 4 a.m. We are looping radar returns. We're going to see some graphics on there. That'll be on there on the website, streaming apps. It'll stay on there until 4 o'clock. Then, of course, 4 o'clock, those will be showing KARK-4 today. So for meteorologist Jenna Warner and myself, thank you for trusting the Arkansas Storm Team.
This was severe weather coverage from the Arkansas Storm Team.